I'm trying to buy at the perfect time. So when will that be? That's what we're going to cover in this monthly market report. This is for you if you are a real estate agent, a financial advisor, or an attorney interested in market data to help you advise a client, or perhaps you are that potential buyer or seller looking for some direction. I'm Paulo Rodriguez. I've been a mortgage professional since 2005, and here is the market data that you need to make an informed buying or selling decision or help your client do the same. We'll start with a quote from Ramsey Solutions, which said, "Even though interest rates are still high, it's a great time to buy a house. The higher interest rates have priced some buyers out of the market, which means you can face less competition when you make offers. Plus, if interest rates do eventually go down significantly, you can always refinance to get the lower rate." And truth be told, people are still hesitating to buy at present. Higher mortgage rates and winter weather, if you live in the colder parts of the country, equals less competition in a number of different ways. There's also fear and uncertainty in the market, which implies opportunity. We also know that sellers who need to sell give you more negotiating power as a buyer. As Warren Buffett famously said, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. Buyers who are trying to time the market should come clean with themselves and recognize that people have been trying to time the market since the pandemic. And those who froze or chose to wait for the perfect moment got left behind by the train that left the station. As I said before, it's not about timing the market. It's about how much time you are in the market. Here is what I mean. Look no further than my own personal story of my first real estate purchase. The year was 2006. I was 24 years old and I had no idea what I was doing. I used 100% financing to acquire a $250,000 property at the top of the market. Like a brand new car, on the day I signed for that house, it was worth less than what I paid for it. And that was just the beginning of the problem, because by 2010, it was worth less than half of what I had paid. I was desperately underwater, not only because I had put zero down, but also because the loans I used to acquire the property were both interest-only loans. So I still owed $250,000 when the home was worth just $110,000. But I decided to stay the course. Instead of waving the white flag and giving the keys to the bank, I continued making my payments on time. I moved out. I put a tenant in the property. I was able to refinance into a fully amortizing loan despite being underwater. And for years, I enjoyed all the depreciation tax benefits that come with owning investment real estate, while my tenant paid down most of my monthly expense. Fast forward to 2021, I was able to sell that property for $300,000, netting not only the $50,000 of appreciation, but also the loan amortization that my tenants paid down all those years. That house today, by the way, will trade for $440,000. So here's my point. If my timing was that bad, and honestly, it could not have been worse, and if I got it so wrong and still made money, then why are you trying to time the market? The trick is to just get in, assuming it's the right house for you, of course. But get in and start amortizing the mortgage and building wealth with long-term appreciation as well as the tax benefits that come with home ownership. In my case, I had the worst timing, but I was in the market for sufficient time to come out on top. And to drive the point further, just this week, the same week I'm recording this, I watched the chairman of the Federal Reserve testify to the Senate Banking Committee that he believes there is a shortage of housing. I've been saying this all along, by the way. You've heard me speak about the fact that we have built fewer homes post 2008 than we did in the 70s and 80s, despite now having a population that is 50% larger than what it was back then. And that's because builders have been underbuilding since the financial crisis. Well, now the chairman of the Federal Reserve spoke to it. The point is that if you are worried about a crash in values, don't hold your breath. You can't get a crash when supply is insufficient to meet demand. I'm not saying the value of homes will go up perpetually in a straight line. Nothing moves in a straight line. But long term, home values go up, and for that reason, home ownership is the number one way families build wealth in this country. Case in point, here is what equity looks like for homeowners that took the leap and decided to get into the market instead of waiting over the last several years. The average homeowner with a mortgage now has $319,000 of equity in their home, of which $207,000 is what they call tappable, meaning it is accessible by way of a loan against the home. This is coming from ICE, which is a mortgage software provider and has access to a lot of data. The National Association of Realtors and CoreLogic have reported that national homeowner equity remains at a near historical peak of $311,000. Over the past decade, the typical homeowner accumulated $201,000 in wealth solely from price appreciation. A typical homeowner accumulated $147,000 in housing wealth in the last 5 years. And the last point there, for the third quarter in 2024, which is the most recent information available, the average US homeowner gained approximately $5,700 in equity during the past year. Take a look at this data from the US Census and Atom data, which shows just how much equity American households have. The green portion are those that own their home free and clear, almost 40%. The blue portion is homes with a mortgage that have greater than 50% equity, that's 29% there. So in other words, 68.3% of homes in this country are either paid off or what's considered equity rich, meaning they have at least 50% equity in their home. And that's amazing, that's great for homeowners. But my point here is that it didn't happen overnight. This happened over time. And that's why I say the important thing is not to time the market. The important thing is the time you are in the market. I want to leave you with this study that NerdWallet did, and it's very, very encouraging. A record number of Americans are planning to buy a home this year. 15% of people surveyed said that was their intention, which is higher than any other year that the study was done. And so there you have it. Yes, homes have appreciated over the last few years, but that alone is not a reason that values will come down. Generational real estate wealth is built by the time in the market. That's a wrap for the March Market Report. I appreciate you listening in. Forward, subscribe, share. I'll be back next month, but before you go, if you're looking to purchase or refinance or know someone that is and would like a no-cost consultation with me personally, feel free to reach out and I'd be happy to analyze if your debt is structured in the most optimal way or if there's room for improvement. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.